Stella,
Hey.
welcome to the She's Bossed It podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I was so excited when I saw your name come through.
I love that.
The team were like, we've got Stella coming. I was like, amazing, because unlike some of the other guests, of course, we're going to touch on your business. Of course, we're going to touch on your origin story.
Absolutely.
But you're here for a little different reason. And we're not going to get into it now, but I know when we do get to that part of your story, it's going to really resonate with a lot of working mothers, women that are potentially not mothers yet.
Mothers in waiting.
Mothers in waiting,
Yeah.
I love that. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to ask you, you are on the She's Bossed It podcast.
Yes.
So who is she?
Who am I? So I am an advanced injector. I've been in the industry for over 8 years now. But prior to that, 20 years ago, I was in tattooing, cosmetic tattooing. That kind of led me to where I am. I am now a mum, finally. So also a partner, hard worker, educator, and just all-round busy lady.
Love
That
it.
is me.
All the hats.
Yes.
All the hats. So you're in the aesthetic space.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that because the aesthetics industry, not only has it boomed over the last few years, it's having a bit of a shake-up at the moment, isn't
There's a real big dynamic shift in the industry. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's really ugly, but we're just riding the storm and hoping it will all be good at the end of it.
So before we get into all of that,
Yeah.
let's talk about your journey into aesthetics. What made you go from tattoo artist into injectables?
So my whole life has always been, no matter what job I've done, is about making people feel good. Like tattooing, cosmetic tattooing, it's making them leave just, and having that artistic eye all along. But I always knew I wanted something more, something deeper, something. I just love making people feel good. And for me, as soon as the aesthetics started booming, when I started the industry, it was kind of still in the very early stages. But I remember meeting friends who were doing it and I was like, oh, I really want to do that. But it was almost that imposter syndrome, like, can I do that because of my background? And I'm such a believer normally that anything you want to do, you can shapeshift. If you want to change, like, never put yourself in that bracket. I only do this, I have to stick in that lane. So I went into aesthetics and that was it. I just knew seeing people beaming when they leave and just that transformation, and not only like with cosmetic tattooing, you just change someone inside more than out. So that was it. I just started in the aesthetics and I just got that addiction of, like, I wanted to know everything. I wanted to learn. I did advanced anatomy, then I wanted to teach because I'm so passionate about it. I love sharing that with others. So for me, it just developed and evolved.
I love that.
And now I'm just, sharing it and running my own clinic as well, which I love.
Were you having treatments yourself?
Yeah, I had treatments, but only minimal. It was like a bit of lip filler, because back then it just wasn't like it is now. It's so advanced. It was lips and Botox were the thing. And now it's just, well, you name it, you can have it.
Well, I have my lips done and
Yeah.
I have Botox. And I'll share here on this podcast, for me, my journey as a client, as a consumer,
Yeah.
I wanted a bit of filler in my lips because I used to suck my thumb.
Okay.
And I had this thing with my front teeth. And I felt like if I was to just do a little bit more on my lips,
Yeah.
it would be less about it sounds really weird as I'm hearing myself say it out loud. It would be less about my teeth and more about my lips kind of thing.
Yeah.
Really weird.
That
because-
projection, you wanted it to
Yeah.
be, she's had lips, it's not her.
Yeah, but subtle.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, there's subtle and then there's not so subtle.
And there's really
going
not
on.
subtle.
Some of the people out there, it's a bit cray-cray.
They should have stopped. Yeah, absolutely should have stopped.
Cray-cray. Okay, so you've gone into aesthetics, you're making people look confident, feel confident. Why did you then go to that next level and become an educator? Talk to us about that.
So lockdown happened, and because I'm not good at sitting still and telling someone who is a workaholic, and there were areas in my life I couldn't control at the time, I was like, I need to do something that I can throw myself into. I love talking. That's like my favorite thing to do. And I love passionate about my job. And I was like, I really want to share this with people. I sadly had some really bad training, but I'm so grateful because it made me what's missing in the aesthetics training. And for me, that was aftercare. Like, you do courses, one day you're out the door and you never hear from the educators again. And that for me was so isolating, lonely. I was like, there's so many people learning aesthetics and just left on their own, like with advanced treatments that they shouldn't be, they don't feel confident in. I had to pay so much more money to get master classes, do advanced anatomy. I was just left feeling really unconfident. And then that for me drove me to teach. I wanted every student to leave knowing I would hold their hand as much as I physically could and tell them everything I know. So I thought that was missing. And then I just, as soon as I did it, I did my graduate and then teaching. And then I just was like, wow, the first time I taught somebody, I was like, this is what I was meant to do. I just love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Most of our industry work solo, and they've already got that and them feelings of loneliness and isolation. So if that's the way it is, like metrically speaking, as a sector, how would people feel knowing for the first time they've picked up an injectable, device and a needle, and then they're just kind of left to their own devices? It must be horrific.
The amount of students I've had come forward, not from training for myself, that have had no complication training. So they've been taught to, oh, this is how you make the lips look lovely, and this is, and then what happens when the client's meshing them with a potential complication? They have no training to deal with that. There's no support. They go back to their educators and, can you help me? This client's, they don't know how to answer those questions. And that for me was a real scary factor. You need that support, that clinical oversight to be like, I can help you, navigate that. First, anything you do in life first time is petrifying, but we are dealing with people's faces. It's very, very serious. There is no, you just mess it up and it'll be fine. Like, you've got to know what you're doing. So yeah, a bit of hand holding I think's massively missing, and I just filled that gap for my students. It's not like
a nail tech or a makeup artist where you could just wash away the makeup or dissolve the nail product and wipe it off. This is people's faces. These are needles hitting veins and arteries, and
you're risking someone's, I want to say life. That is drastic, but really, if you're not trained, an untrained injector without that knowledge behind them, like, you're dealing with the risk of anaphylaxis, vascular compromise, and if you aren't trained to deal with that, that is your reputation, more importantly your client's safety. And that there's sadly a lot of people out there that just aren't prepared for that. So again, I was left with no confidence in my first lot of training. I'd spent thousands on progress. I just knew it wasn't right. I was like, I don't feel safe. Like I say, it's so isolating. You're on your own. And especially when I started, there wasn't this, support network like there is now with girls supporting girls. I love that. But back then it was like, no, I'm not going to tell you my secrets, not going to support you. So we were like, oh my God, what do I do?
Like, I'm really out here on my own.
I bang on and on. I like to think that everyone who's trained with me, they knows they've got me at the end of the phone. And I have it all. I've had texts 10 o'clock at night, Stella, like, help me. And I'm there. Like, if I can physically be there, I will, because I know that it's not just their reputation, it's mine as an educator. I teach them, I want to support them, and so
So do you think, from where the industry is at now, so we'll go there now, with the shape of the aesthetic space of where it is today, it's a shambles.
Absolute shambles.
Would you say some of the online space has contributed to that, or do you think
Massively.
It was already before?
No, I think the online is just, it's like the Wild West. It is gone. Everyone's gunning for everyone. Everyone's like a witch hunt. If you pull one wrong move, everyone's throwing everyone under the bus. It's a real shame. There was a real big support network in the industry, and now I just feel it has gone. Because there's so much uncertainty. No one knows, and everyone's claiming they do know. So that's creating a big divide. And I really hate even saying these words that are going to come out of my mouth, like the divide between a medic and a non-medic, because I'm sick of hearing it. Every injector's sick of hearing it, but it's still rearing its ugly head all the time. It's about safety. That's all it should come down to. Experience, safety. And if you're doing those things, then that's all that matters. But it's wild, and we've just got to wait and see what happens.
So let's just talk about the money side of it then, because I'm good for talking about money. I like to talk about money in a very positive way. For a career, I help women make money, and I make money through helping others make money. So it's a win-win situation.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the aesthetic space, if a lot of women are honest with themselves, they will say that they went down that road because there's a lot of money to make.
Absolutely, yeah. There are so many people that come forward. I think the only misconception is they see people, maybe let's say like myself, successful and they think, I want a piece of that, and that's healthy. Like, we all strive to be better. But it's selling the misconception, which so many people do, that you'll just do a course and you'll be earning that money. That is absolutely false. Like, there is a lot of money to be made in the industry. Even with the amount of injectors you've got now, there is so much money, but you have to be good at what you do. It doesn't happen overnight. You've got to work hard. But again, I think people sign up, think, I'm going to be so wealthy.
It's a cash cow. They think like there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
But if that's the goal, if you've gone into it for the financial gain, you'll very quickly see how that fails you. That just, of course you want the money. Like, I wanted the money. I wanted the freedom that brought as well. But if I was solely doing it for that, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah.
Absolutely
there's nothing wrong saying that.
Yeah.
I think more should speak up and say, I'm here for the money, but not at the detriment of clients' safety. Absolutely. So are we surprised then to where the industry is now with what's going on right now?
No, absolutely not. Because again, if there are so many injectors money driven solely, seeing that price tag, like, oh, I can earn X amount in 10 minutes, that's really hard to get out of people's heads, because if they're driven by that, the results are going to sadly be potentially catastrophic for the client. So not saying that always happens, but I've just seen so many people, even students who've come to myself, they've left. Why am I not making this much money? And I never promised you. The potential is there. I can't make that happen for you. So and I think that's why we're left with so many injectors now, spent this money, not making the money they want. So they're selling themselves short. They're selling their soul in the industry. You would have seen it, lip filler, I don't know, 30 quid. Like, everyone's undercutting in such an unhealthy way. I've always tried to never do offers. I'm like, I know my worth. I know what I'm offering to the table. So people will pay it. But then I attract the clients I want.
Yeah.
We're keeping to that.
And I can already tell just from your energy and your conviction and what you're saying, or what you've said so far today, that you will definitely be passing that down to your students.
Absolutely.
And the way that they then go out to the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
It's amazing. I love it.
So for anyone who's listening and doesn't know what's going on in the industry, we are having a shake-up. Regulation is coming in.
Yeah.
And I think when regulation does come in, so at the time of this recording, it's this week that we've had, today's Tuesday. So it was the end of last week.
Last week it was,
End of last week it was announced that the government are now taking it serious.
Yeah.
And regulation is on its way. What does that mean for our industry?
It's amazing. So one thing we do know for a fact, again, there's speculation of you're going to need to do this, you're going to need to have that. But we know now that licensing is going to happen. That baffles me that it doesn't even exist. So for cosmetic tattooing, I always had to be licensed at my premises. I got into the aesthetics industry and there's nothing. You can literally work unspokenly from anywhere without any standards. Like, there's no rule to say you've got to have a sterile environment. Look, we teach this, but there's nothing in legislation or licensing to say that you have to have it. No one's coming to vet injectors to check their workspace is safe and clean. And that's mad that we are 2025 and it's still not, it's announced, but it's still not put in place. You have to by now. Like, it's still a process. We've still got to wait time, but
it could still be a year or two.
It could be, but it's amazing. And I fully support it. I am all for making it safer. And I still worry though, that even when, let's say, the legislation comes in, the licensing, or we have to be all an equal level, will it stop all this? I don't know. Has that damage been done in the industry, the divide? Will everyone respect a medic and a non-medic who's had what the government seemed to be fit for a standard? Will everyone respect everyone the same? I don't know. I hope so. But it's definitely moving the way it should be. So I'm really grateful.
Well, what could potentially happen is licensing comes in, the money-driven people, the backstreet people, the people that weren't really in it for the long haul, they'll just disappear. And then maybe we'll finally see a collaboration with medics and non-medics.
I really hope that. That is something
it sounds a bit...
I really want it.
Promising too much, but
I'm just scared that because of it, how much it's going to drive underground more as well. There's always going to be that. So I think we are going to sift out the serious injectors, the one who are willing to pay for the licensing and be professional and deemed across the board as a high standard. But then I know there are so many that financially don't have that care to be at that. They just want to earn money, don't really care about the safety of the client. I just worry, are they going to just stop tools down, or are they going to push and go underground more? I don't know. We'll see, but let's hope positive change is coming.
But for you, I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, it's amazing. Right. Absolutely. I want it. I don't want to have to feel like you've got to defend yourself constantly in the industry. I want, like, look, I am here. I've done everything. I'm safe, etc. But whereas at the minute you're constantly having to, just keep up there with everyone and be like, yes, I do everything safe. But just having that licensing, if we're all the same, like no one's up here, no one's here.
Yeah. I love how you've worded that, actually. Definitely. Okay, so you're a powerhouse in aesthetics.
Yes, thank you.
You're bossing it in aesthetics. That's why you're here.
Love it.
Now, before we get on to a different subject, I just want to stick to your typical day-to-day. So what does that look like? Because you're not just in your own space, are you? I want to touch on that for anyone listening, because the world has shape-shifted a lot in recent years, and different business models and setups have come in.
Yeah.
The infrastructure of how to set up a business in the aesthetic space has changed. There's now multiple ways, and I feel like you're doing a bit of all of it. Yeah,
I am. I'm here, there, everywhere. So I obviously have my own business, which I teach from, and it was also tattoo and cosmetic studios. So I have like a downstairs area that's a clinic. So I work there and I teach there, but I also work at the venue. I run a clinic there as well. So again, I do everything because I'm just a mad woman and I love life like that. But again, that's really good for anyone in the industry. There's businesses set up that you can go and rent space in and work, and all the work is done for you. I think definitely since becoming a mum, I wanted a bit of less stress, and I kind of got booted out of my business because they've just taken over. All the artists have filled it and they're like, we need your room. I was like, right. I'll go elsewhere. Yeah, it's just we got so busy. I was like, okay, I'd rather the space be earning me money while I'm not there, and I'll earn money here at the same time.
It's a good problem to have.
So that was, and it's just what I love is I'm also in a clinic environment with other beauticians, and it's just really lovely. I miss that environment, and that's been like the girl time. I love that. So
I know the girls from the venue. They've done many courses with us at Beauty Boss Academy.
Yeah, they're so lovely, and I just love that. Yeah, I miss that environment, and I needed the girl chat. So. It's
girl
great.
chat. I love that. Yeah. Okay, so the space. I mean, look, when we go back to COVID, I saw, you probably saw, we all saw a lot of people make them probably really hard decisions at the time of giving back the keys, closing. Well, we saw a lot of the decline on the high street, regardless of the industry. And then came this model of the collective space of going in and renting by square footage.
Yeah.
Is that what you do at the venue, and is there a few like you, or is it a slightly different model?
I actually owned a hair salon in the time of COVID. Right. So I had self-employed staff, and it was done on a percentage basis, and COVID happened. And again, like you were saying, the dynamic shift, no one really wanted to come back to work because they were like, I can work from home. That was the new thing. And I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to keep my business going? I've been shut for God knows how long. And then I had to adapt in renting chair space, which I'd never done. It was always a percentage, a cut, and then it went to chair space. I was like, oh my goodness, this is new. But it's also great. So again, now everybody does that. So that's what I do. I rent a space, work there, do my own thing. That's what it suits me, because I have worked for myself forever. Yeah. I don't think I could be employed, if that meant, not that I am employable, but I don't want to be. I love obviously doing it myself. So going to the venue was just really lovely. It just took a lot of stress out of it for me, and just renting a space. So
I think it's a smart move. At the end of the day, it's a smart move, and it's definitely a way for people to not feel the burdens of running their own property, their own building. And
I've got both sides. I've got a business to run. But I have no headache with that one. And I've had businesses my whole life. I've had multiple shops, and the headache of running that, and as you know, it is just overwhelming. So people starting in the industry, just trying to learn confidence in what they're doing without having to be a photographer, be a social media manager, run a business, bills. I think it's brilliant.
So what would your advice then, knowing that you wear all the hats and you're in various models, in the industry. What would be your advice for somebody coming into the industry?
Yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you give them so they don't hit the roadblocks that, say, you and I have hit in our time in the industry?
I think definitely now there are so many treatments out there. Like, it's overwhelming. And I think a student comes to me and they're like, I want to do this, this, and this, and this. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But I think definitely start mastering 1 or 2 treatments. I think if you offer, let's say, 20 new treatments, advanced as well, how are you going to become good at all of them at once and then build up your client base and earn the money you set out to do? That's just not a thing. I think if you can master one, be known for like you're really good at that, and then expand on it. I've just seen it so much. I've got students that do all these courses and they'll only actually end up using a little bit of one and not doing, and I'm like, just start building it. And I've always done like free refresher courses because I'm so aware that I can't digest and learn everything and be a master. It's time, experience. So I definitely would say get experience in a couple of things, then expand your treatment list. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing it all, but I wouldn't promote yourself as an advanced ejector when you've just done a day's course. Like, that's not a thing. Like, become good at something.
We're definitely now in the era of less is more, for
sure. Natural tweakments.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tweakment. That's my favourite word.
That.
Yeah.
Tweakment.
Just a little tweakment, little sprinkle of stuff here and there.
I love it.
Yeah.
It must have been about a month or 2 ago. I was on my stories, as I do. You see me just jump on my stories randomly from time to time. I was sorting out an old box I brought back from Spain, and it had been sat there for ages. You know, you just got stuff like in the attic. Anyway, I brought down this box, and I was obviously looking for something, and I came across a 2005 price list of my salon, Layla's.
Oh my goodness!
And at the front it says Layla's Unisex Beauty Salon 2005.
I remember that salon well.
And it was no joke, like a little magazine. It was like a little book.
Just everything.
So
overwhelming.
And obviously now, where we're in this whole less is more, my point of me sharing on my stories, I was flicking through this little book and I was saying, look, back then it was the cool thing to be seen to be the salon to do everything. Yeah. And now it is the complete
a one-stop
opposite.
Shop, but
complete opposite.
Yeah.
And the truth is, if I actually go back in my own mind of when I was on the tools in the salon, doing a little bit of waxing and a little bit of this, a little bit, I was bloody awful at lashes.
It's not working smart, is it? You're like, I'm trying to do everything. It's knowing what you're good at as well. Yeah.
And I think as well, I think it's less confusion as well in terms of what your message is to your audience, to your, you know, who you're trying to convert to be clients.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, what do you do, or what are you particularly good at?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so you mentioned about 5-10 minutes ago you have a little boy.
Yes.
Let's dive into that.
Let's go.
So, like I said at the beginning of this interview, you are a working female, a working mum, which most are in our industry.
Yeah.
Not everybody. What is it you called them? Mothers in waiting?
Mothers in waiting, yeah.
Mothers in waiting, I love that. And I'm going to talk now about your story of the challenge of becoming a mum.
Yeah.
Whilst having your business at the same time?
Yeah, all along.
Okay, so what's your little boy called?
Cruz.
Yeah. How old's Cruz?
He's 1. Just turned 1. I still can't believe he's mine. I have such imposter syndrome that I'm his mum. Like, and I still, a year later, I'm just like, how are you mine? Like, I can't get enough of him.
So let's start from the beginning. Yeah. So I'm just going to...
I'll round it in a...
Go on.
In a nutshell. So 21, infertile. Was told I'd need IVF through various reasons.
At the age of 21?
At the age of 21.
Okay.
Yeah. So since 21, whether it's been whoever I was with at that time, I have actively tried to be a mum. And that has been through surrogacy, IVF, surgeries, you name it. I have gone through everything. And then relationships are broken because of it as a result. And now I have him. It is just wild. I don't know how. But getting to you want to say the business side, what?
Yeah, how did you find that? You're obviously, as forget business for a minute, because we're not just ever about our business. Yeah. So you're a woman trying to have a child of your own, and you're getting told no by various doctors and other professions.
Yeah.
How do you cope with dealing with that at such a young age and then skipping into work and smiling and being that person for your clients?
It was soul destroying. I think I have changed constantly so much because I've had to. I think work for me saved me though, because I couldn't control my fertility. I couldn't control the one thing I wanted more in the world was to be a mum. And knowing that no matter, there were so many roadblocks, I had multiple investigations, surgeries, and getting to the point where you think you're so close, you see your friends start having babies, and then your IVF fails, and then there's another problem with your fertility, you need to have another surgery, it was just exhausting over the years. I think that's why I just threw myself so much into business, because I could control it. I could be like, I need to, but that saved me, that got me through my darkest times. But I always knew I'd be a mum. I just didn't know how, but I was prepared to do anything it took. But it's been the most grueling journey of my life. But now I am a mum and I have him. I think, my God, like it was worth it all. Like it really was. But there were times where if I'm honest, this time before having him was the last sort of IVF. I think that for me was, I can't go. And I didn't realise till I got pregnant how I was done. I've always said I'll never give up, and I wouldn't, because the thought of being childless like took my breath away. I was born to be a mum. I love children, and seeing my friends now with their second child, and I am 40. I was 40 when I had him. That was scary as well, being an older mum. I would, if I had it my way, I'd have had him 20 years ago. And now I know what it's like. I'm obsessed and want 10 of him, but that's just, not a thing. But
you might not be saying that when he's 16 and he's got like things growing out of cups in his bedroom.
Yeah. No, that would be not good. But no, it's really challenging. But I'm just so fortunate again that my career allowed me to go through that fertility journey, because it's not for the faint-hearted. It is scans at the drop of a hat, appointments, medication that is wrecking your hormones, and work was my escape, because I put on a face. It was like, go to work and I can be an injector. I can make somebody else feel amazing. Even though I can't change how I'm feeling, I might go home and sob. That was a hard thing, because again, being a woman, coming of age, oh, have you got any children? Are you going to have children? And in my industry, it's a natural, every client.
Yeah.
And having to go through the emotions of explaining, oh, why don't you have children yet? And that's something I really want to educate people on. Don't ask women that question. Why don't you have children? Because you just have no idea. I always say now, do you see yourself having a family? Because there are so many options. I looked at surrogacy. We did try with a surrogate for a year. I looked at IVF. I had donor embryos. You name it, we went there. So I find that question
bit intrusive.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm always trying to just educate people on that. Just say, oh, do you see yourself with a family? And approach it because you just have no idea what somebody is going through.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So were you open with your clients? Were they part of your journey?
I'm so transparent. I have a fertility page, and I, again, shared everything. I'm probably an oversharer. I share probably too much, but that was my vent to go through it. It helped me. Putting it out there, it helped me not carry the weight of it all the time. My clients were all amazing, because there were days I had to cancel. If I had a scan, again, there's so much involved. If your medication ran out, I've got to go. I've got to travel to London. I've got to go. It was carnage. And we actually went to Prague for this IVF.
Oh, wow.
So again, it was traveling abroad, running clinics and having to move clinic dates because, oh, guess what? My body is ready to receive an embryo. I need to go. It is wild. It's nothing, unless you've been through it, I wouldn't even entertain trying to understand, because it's just physically taxing, mentally, you're pumping yourself full of hormones daily. It was a lot. But now I am this side of it. I would love to say to anyone, if you can physically, mentally keep going, don't give up, because it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
So there must have been, no one would, blame you. There must have been days where you just really couldn't face the world or get out of bed.
Yeah,
because I know that would be me.
Yeah, there were many days like that, especially having clients come in that you've really close to, And then they would even like come in and say, I can't have my appointment today, I'm pregnant. And I've always been so happy for people. I genuinely am. But I think the hardest thing for me was my closest friends getting pregnant. That feeling of, I'm so happy. You can't explain being so happy for someone, but heartbroken for yourself. Like that was devastating for me. And I really struggled. I think seeing my closest, like if people external went in my circle getting pregnant, it was annoying. It's like, oh great, somebody else having a baby. Oh, they're on their fifth. But when it was like really close, I was always like, when is it going to be my turn? When do I get to share my pregnancy with you? And I went through them all, and then onto their second children, and I found that hard. It's a real, saying it out loud, I feel really selfish saying it, but being so happy, but going home and just breaking down, that jealous of that life. Like I wanted that so much and I couldn't have it. It was just, yeah. And I'm not good at not having things. I don't know why I want. So yeah, it was really difficult, really heartbreaking. But my work just, I think that's why I just threw myself into something. I had to, because mentally I was like, you just can't sit in that place. And I've had to pick myself up and always trust. Always said to myself, you're one step closer to becoming a mum. You're one day closer. I never saw it as another day not being a mum. I was like, you're not in a race, but you're walking towards it. That for me was my words every day. Like, you're a day closer.
Yeah,
day closer to happening.
Now you've got a gorgeous little Chris.
I know, and I'm obsessed with him. Like a healthy obsession. Yeah.
I'm sat here thinking my brain is just going, I'm listening to
Yeah.
every word you're saying, and wow, I'm actually sat here in awe of you.
Oh, thanks.
I'm just sat here thinking, like, what a woman, like, because we have our monthly hormones dancing on our, nerves, and all the ups and downs we have just with life.
Yeah.
And then just having to put a face on, as you've said, and go and then be that support system for your clients.
And the students as well.
And students.
I mean, that was a lot, emotionally showing up for them and myself. And I've even got students that are also going through fertility treatments and fertility struggles, and that was hard, because it's like I even had friends in the past that I had to retract from, because I was like, I just can't take on I'm an empath. If you're sad, I'll be sad. I feel everyone's pain and I emotionally take it on. I take things home, which is terrible. So I had to block out, like, I can't carry your weight and my own weight and work. And you know what it's like when there are a million things you've got to think of, and the hormones that you're injecting daily, and that was painful and grueling, like every day in the stomach, and it's just like in the thigh, taking this tablet, that tablet, and it was just like, oh, just want a break.
Did you come across any women that were on the same journey as you?
Yeah.
Going through the same thing? In our industry or not?
In our industry, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are a couple online who are like really famous injectors, also going through IVF. But because I created that space, the fertility Instagram, I come across so many. And I was always sharing that I'm an injector. I'm also going for IVF. Yeah. So I had loads of women reach out to me.
Because that's what I'm sat here thinking, is there a place, is there a space created by someone like you, where they don't feel like they're going through it alone?
Yeah, mine wasn't designed for just injectors. Obviously, it was designed for everyone. And I actually did a fertility event for women and guys going all through it. And it was a free event in London. And it was just to sit and talk, like how you're feeling, and knowing how you can understand and empathise exactly like what they're going through. That's why I shared, and I'm so transparent on that page. I needed somewhere to vent it off, and it just it was huge and a massive support network for me. So,
and obviously you got your little bundle of joy at the end of your journey, but not everyone does.
No, and I've retracted from my space I created, because I find it too, again, because I feel people's emotions going on. I would see women, they'd get their miracle for IVF and it's amazing. Be like, when am I going to get mine? And then they'd have their second, and then I had mine. And I really thought I would share my son's whole life on there, and I just haven't, because I can't bear to, because I know how those women feel. Like I go on occasionally, just check in, and I see that they're still in the trenches, and it breaks my heart. And I think I know what that feels like. So I feel like I can't share.
You'd almost feel like you're rubbing it in their face.
But I want to give them that. I always seek the positive. Like, I always looked for the people that had the success. Because if you stay in that world of constant negative and no one's getting where they want, it was so unhealthy. I had to stay she got her miracle, they got their miracle, like keep going, and Cruz is my miracle that I